Hi, welcome to another segment of Handy Andy on Bethel Park TV Cable. Today we're going to be doing a show about sending your college students, sending your high school students back to college or to college for the first time. And after sending three children myself, two different colleges, universities, I found there was a lot of stuff that most people forget about, essentials that you need to pack for either dorm rooms or your apartments. And along with me today, I brought my lovely assistant. This is Megan Kinsler. Megan has worked for me down at the hardware store for 5 years, 6 years, quite a bit of time. And she's now going to be a senior at Pitt University, University of Pittsburgh. So she has a lot of practical experience, and I thought I'd ask her to come on the show and help me show you some of the products we're talking about and some of the things on the practical side of it that she really needed, wished she needed, forgot about, and so forth. So, Megan, welcome to BPTV.
Thank you for having me.
So, and how is it at Pitt now? You're a senior, right?
Yes.
And what are you majoring in?
Speech pathology.
Nice,
so,
very nice.
I love it there.
With all the products that you see here, you in agreement there's things that you forgot or wish you had or so forth?
Absolutely.
Okay. I wanted to start, I think, with electrical. Tell me about going into your first dorm room or your first apartment. You're in an apartment now, but what was it like having the electricity there? Did you have enough?
Not enough outlets. We definitely use power strips a lot. So that's definitely an essential, or just something to have more outlets, because we all have so many things to plug in. They just don't ever seem to have enough, or they're just not in the right location for it. So extension cords, power strips were really a big part of.
Yeah. Now, did you remember your first year to bring them? You're pretty good on details.
Yes.
I never asked you. Did you actually remember?
I did.
Okay.
I did. My dad actually supplied one for me, but I didn't think of it myself. So.
Dad bailed you out. Parents are good for that. So, but what we brought you on the extension cords and power strip sides of it, I mean, and you're going to need a combination of all different types. We brought the larger 25-foot cords. We have some smaller multi-tap household cords. I don't know if it really matters to you as far as brown cords, white cords. These cords are just two-prong, and some of your other heavier type cords, these are grounded cords. So a lot of the outlets, even in the old dorm rooms, are not even grounded. So you need these 3-to-2 type of plug adapters, because a lot of the outlets, if they don't have the three-prong plugs in them, you need to be able to plug your power strip into the wall. The power strips are going to have grounded outlets, but the outlets there don't. So you have to adapt them down from the 3 prongs to the 2 prongs itself. And actually, this is one of the things that I forgot taking my first child many years ago to school. One of the first things I had to run out and do after we were moving Jamie into Notre Dame is I had to run out to the hardware store and grab a couple of the 3-to-2 plug adapters, because I had nowhere to plug her power strips in, because at Notre Dame, the dorm that she was in was a really old dorm. No air conditioning, just two-prong type outlets on it, and we were struggling for power. But with the new type of power strips out there, it's going to give you the multiple outlets, and it gives you the large ones for the different transformer type plugs, where years ago it wasn't really that necessary, but in the world of the electronics and the computers and laptops and everything else on it, you need that bigger type of plug. And it's with this type of power strip now, it also has the USB ports on it, so you don't have to worry about the other adapters or another outlet just to charge your iPhones, your iPads, your cell phones, and so forth. You can plug the USB cord directly into the power strip, so it's saving an extra outlet for something else that you have. And there's also the smaller type ones, also with the USB ports on it. And there's also the big plug adapters where you have 2, and it converts it right away to 6, snugging it right up to the wall. So if you don't necessarily need the power strips, there's the different plug adapters that you can get to just give you the different multi-adapters and that on it. Megan, how about when you're at school? Do they supply you with light bulbs?
They do not.
They don't.
No.
So did you have light bulbs with you when you moved in? Or did you have to worry about them?
Whenever I moved into my apartment a couple years ago, I remember we had to go out and get some, because we brought the lamp, but we didn't bring anything to fill it with.
So. Yeah, so something as simple as a light bulb. You burn out light bulbs at home, you're going to burn out light bulbs it's your apartment on it. So think to bring in, I'm sure you probably have, if I remember right, Catherine was telling me they used to have power saving, energy saving contests in their building, which buildings would have the least amount of usage and so forth. So that's why I was bringing the, CFL type of light bulbs. But, how about batteries, flashlights?
I do have a flashlight. I haven't used it yet, but
You were fortunate enough never to have it. So do you
Right.
go through batteries at school?
I know for like smoke detectors and stuff, keeping those up to date.
Yeah.
It's just easier to just replace them whenever you need it, and
Instead
make
of
sure
them
you always have
chirping
them.
all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah. Flashlights itself, or these are like the little snap lights. If you don't want to have a flashlight, just a temporary 10-hour type of light, or the light sticks that you just snap and glow in the dark. But with flashlights and batteries, once again, going back to the experience with my children, Catherine, when she was at Miami of Ohio, my middle child, they had a tornado that came through that's outside of Cleveland, so it's a little closer to the Midwest. Or Cincinnati, excuse me. Miami of Ohio is there in Cincinnati. They had a tornado came through and power was out in the entire school for 3 days. No power in the dorms and any of the apartments, even in the cafeterias there. And she was one of the few people on campus that actually had a flashlight. So having a flashlight, something that simple, putting it in your desk drawer, or we're going to show you a little toolbox kit that possibly to have that you may need it. It may come in handy or something for it. And it's just something that most people wouldn't consider and rather have it and not need it,
Yep.
need it, not have it. Okay, and moving on, we got different hook type stuff and glues and putties and nail-in type hooks. Megan, what can you tell us about hooks and what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do with between your dorm and apartments?
Most dorms you're not supposed to nail anything to the walls, so definitely command strips and the sticky tack is the way to go. Usually you don't want bare walls. So I know we used command strips to hang up Christmas lights around it just to make it feel a little bit homey. The sticky tack was used for like all of our posters and everything, or pictures that we hung up all over the wall. Just to make it feel a little bit more, less empty, just more comfortable. But they're definitely essentials to have.
And bringing you home a little bit, stuff from home, so your rooms at school are a little, so you don't get homesick kind of
Right.
stuff, let's say. But that's why we put in command strips, these command hooks, even for the larger ones, maybe hanging a bathrobe, going out into a common shower area, common bathrooms and so forth. You want to always have hooks ready for your bath towels or bathrobes on it, smaller hooks for pictures or anything like that with it. The sticky tack, like Megan was saying, is used for hanging all the posters. Now getting into some apartments, you could possibly use some of the hooks and picture wire and so forth, but there's not too many schools that I know of that'll let you pound holes in any of the dorm room type of walls. So that's why we're using a lot of the command hooks. You even have command tape and so forth on it. I found a lot of the old dorms have the ceiling towel, the suspended ceilings on it, and these are special hooks that can hook to the track work of the suspended ceiling. So if you're hanging stuff, whether it's Christmas decorations or a Steeler banner or a Penguin banner or something directly from the ceiling, that's why we threw these into the kits, because a lot of the dorms actually have drop ceiling, suspended ceiling towel in it, and these hooks are great for those type of ceilings with it. The last thing on mounting and emergency type repairs, tape. You never know when you need tape, whether black tape, whether duct tape, whether masking tape. I don't know, do you ever have use for tapes at school?
Maybe electrical tape. If your charger ever starts to become loose at one end, you just want to keep it all together, make sure everything stays working for the time being. But
no school projects, or you're involved with Habitat, aren't you?
I am.
So do you ever get into needing tapes for posters and banners hanging up around campus or anything like that?
Yes.
Even just school projects and so forth on it. You never know when, and that's tapes or something other than maybe some Scotch tape. That's about the only tapes that most people think to bring with them, and a little bit larger tape is a different one. Let's move on into some cleaning stuff.
Okay.
What kind of cleaning stuff do you get into at school?
A lot of laundry, so Ajax is definitely something that you would need.
Nobody's there to do the laundry for you anymore,
No,
huh?
unfortunately.
No, do you
No.
think the guys do as much laundry as the girls do?
I don't think so.
No, so that bottle maybe will last them an entire school year. I don't think it'd probably last you that much, would it?
No.
No. Okay, so
But-
some laundry and maybe some bound sheets for doing the laundry itself.
Yep.
How does the dorms and/or apartments usually smell?
Not so pleasant sometimes.
Okay, so we brought. Do you use Fresh Wave?
I don't. I should
Okay,
start.
you should start. The Fresh Wave is your odor abatement type of product. These are ones, whether it's the dorms, whether it's the apartments, whether it's the fraternities itself, they never seem to have that pleasant odor on it. So these are ones you just open the jar and let the jar sit, and it permeates in through the room. A jar this size, you're going to get probably a month and a half, maybe even 2 months out of it. We have the smaller ones for shorter term on it, but you could even just set this on a dresser, the back of the desk, or a bookshelf, or somewhere around in there, and the child doesn't even, the student, doesn't even know that it's there, or their friends don't know it's there, but their dorm from clothing sitting all over the place. I know the girls, they take good care of it, but I know my son's dorm, it was pretty ripe at times, let's say, with it. So we made sure that we kept him well stocked on the Fresh Wave products. And I remember another Catherine story. She would always have me send her cases of Fresh Wave, and she would go around to the dorms especially, or when she had a house with the different rooms in it, and she put them in all the different rooms because she was tired of the houses and so forth smelling bad from all her roommates. So other cleaning type products, the Clorox wipes, just to quit wiping. How often did you get into cleaning your dorm room or apartment too much?
Like, we usually cleaned it pretty thoroughly, like once a week.
No,
But,
that's
you know.
perfect. My son Robbie, he would only clean it the day before he knew Mom and Dad were
Right.
coming to visit. And
Yeah,
then
not
he would
everybody cleans.
quickly spruce it up or something. But probably something just to Lysol wipes. Do you generally keep much other cleaning products there? Or?
Yeah, we use like Windex and Comet and just pretty much everything.
Everything that you would
We like
need
to keep it
keep it
clean.
clean. So
Yeah.
that's a perfect way. A new product, and I'm thinking that this might be a future show even, but I just wanted to show it. This is a new product into my back to school kind of packaging. Bactronics is the absolute best germ killing product that I've ever found. It deep cleans any surface area, so any of your from MRSA to all the way down through, it'll clean everything on it. So it's just a new product that I'm putting in our back to school. You get into dorm rooms, you get into fraternities, you get into the apartment buildings, all these different people that are going in and out constantly. It would be a nice product to add to the battle of keeping your students nice and healthy so they don't get the flu and miss a week of school or anything like that. So as you're using your wipes or something, which really don't kill all the germs, it's a nice surface cleaner but not a germ killer. That's why the Bactronics is the way to go on as far as using a product to really truthfully, thoroughly clean a room on it. But from there, Megan, we brought some tools. Have you ever had the need for any tools at school?
Yes, not so much in my dorm room, because we pretty much just stuck things on the walls and that was pretty much it. But I know for our apartment, we decorated the walls a lot. Just throughout the year, we would just maybe add a few things. I know our cabinet door came loose once, so I just tightened it up myself. Much easier than waiting for maintenance to show up and do it themselves. And just had it close by and just fixed it in a couple minutes. So that was really nice to have around. We had a couple toolkits that we just kept in our closets. So it was nice and close by.
Yeah, and you don't need a lot in here. Megan, why don't you start just picking up a couple of the wrenches. This is just a simple crescent wrench. And the screwdrivers. The screwdriver, you can just get these multi-tip type of screwdrivers where you just turn the tips over, so this one screwdriver will pretty much do anything on it. There's actually 6 different points between the nut runners and the screwdrivers and so forth with it. Also, just having like a hammer for, you know, having a hammer. It could just be a small hammer like that. You don't need anything big and, you know, I'll say big, manly, you know, obnoxious type of hammer, something small like that, just for putting a quick nail or fixing a hinge or a cabinet door or something. The other tool I brought is an actual Allen wrench set. A lot of what I found over the years moving to school, the furniture you're getting now, whether it's IKEA furniture or Walmart furniture or something, you find they actually don't use screws. They use those nuts and bolts that have special heads to them, and having a little $5 Allen wrench set is going to enable you to put that furniture together that you found you got to the dorm room or the apartment and you have room for another piece of furniture. You didn't have a vehicle that you can transport that desk up, so you go out and buy a $29 or $49 IKEA or Walmart type of desk. You need special Allen wrenches or torque wrenches, I'll say, to put them together with. So just having a little toolbox and maybe these 5 tools to it, that's going to take care of any and all of your emergency type of repairs that you're going to have in an apartment or a dorm room. And this is something even after graduation. When Megan's a senior this year, or she, you know, when she graduates this year, whether she's going on to, you know, a master's program or getting a job or something, it's a tool set that she could take with her to her apartment or her first home or something on it. So, you know, most people won't think of having little tools there. Another cute story from my kids going in, they all had their toolkit on it, and they would tell me all the time that when all the rest of the kids in the dorms or in the apartment said, "Wow, Robbie has a tool set," or "Catherine has a tool set," or something, they were always being asked, "Can I borrow your tools? Can I fix this? Can I fix this?" Even from the bed frame coming apart to the desk chair falling apart to the drawer not working or something. Having some very, very simple, I mean, you're talking all these tools cost you maybe $20. It's not a lot of money, but it's something, if you have it, you know, it's going to be really helpful on it. Megan, how about fans? Do your dorms or apartments ever got hot?
Fortunately, I was always equipped with air conditioning, but
you were fortunate.
A lot of my friends with apartments down at Pitt don't have air conditioning, and it can get really hot in there. So I know that a lot of them have big box fans or oscillating fans over there that just sit in their apartment and are on all day, just trying to keep the place cool. So
they've probably been spoiled at home having air conditioner and so forth, and you go to school was starting in August. So August, September, even October, you still got some warm months. And, you know, once again at the end of the year, where it's April, May, even into June, depending on the university and everything you go to, it's amazing how hot some of those dorms and apartment buildings and everything get. My kids all had fans, and actually Robbie had air conditioning in, but it still didn't circulate real well in the dorms or in the apartments. So they were, his fans I think were going pretty much year round, even in the winter, just helping to circulate the heat, because the heat wasn't penetrating all through. So fans, believe it or not, you can get little desktop fans to the bigger fans. Fans are pretty much a crucial item anymore for kids going to college itself. And the last thing I got is some big tote boxes out in front here. It's one thing getting all this, but it's getting them moved in. And what kind of experiences did you have when, you know, freshmen and so forth, moving to school the first time? How many trips were you making from your car into the dorm room?
Too many. Definitely, I'm an overpacker, so bringing a lot of bins to throw everything that I wanted to take and thought I needed to take all together, just so I wasn't carrying just 1,000 trips up to the room, was really helpful. And then just to have them in the room themselves, just to keep everything tidy and not just thrown about, was really helpful. I haven't had one of these big ones, but I know I had some of the containers that can just slide under your bed.
Under the beds, absolutely.
That was really helpful. I really enjoyed having that.
So, but packing the kids to go to school, you need something to pack them in. So there's multiple different sizes of tote boxes, from the underbed short ones to the taller ones to the bigger ones to the shoebox size ones. It's something you realize you pack all this into your vehicle or your truck. Now you got to move them into the building itself and then get them situated. And a lot of tote boxes can go back home with you, and you bring them back up at the end of the year to move them back out a minute. But boy, I remember there were some of the trips that we were making 20 trips from the cars, into the dorm rooms and back. And, Jamie was on the 7th story the first time, and the elevators are so crowded.
Right.
You took the stairs. You could never wait for the elevator. So, moving Jamie, and it got a lot of exercise up and down the flights of stairs. Catherine, her first year was on the 4th floor. Robbie, his first year was on the 12th floor.
Wow.
So it's a lot of moving, a lot of exercising, and I was glad I had them pre-packed into totes, and I brought a dolly with me because you can never find the dollies in the dorm buildings because they only have like 2 or 3, and they got 300 kids moving
Right.
in.
Definitely
So,
something else you should look into bringing.
So if you have room in your vehicle to bring a little hand truck, a little dolly or something, it would be worthwhile. But these are just some quick tips, some things that, not counting the food and not counting the clothes and not counting the actual school tablets and pencils and so forth. These are just things, from our hardware store that after a practical experience with 3 kids going to school, plus helping a lot of parents get ready for school, and the help of Megan and a lot of other employees over the years, we put together a real nice list of stuff that would be helpful to have at school itself. So, Megan, thank you for your time and your expertise, and good luck this year, your senior year, graduating.
Thank you very much.
We're very proud of you. And
I'm excited.
Yeah, and it's all fun. And thank you for watching another segment of Handy Andy on Bethel Park TV cable, and we'll see you around town soon.